Go.
Hi, good morning everybody. Matt Reisinger with Reisinger Homes. Welcome to my video blog on green building and building science. I've done a video in the past on flushing another style tankless water heater, a Renai, but I'm here at a house that we remodeled about just a little over a year ago, and we're doing their annual maintenance, and it's time to flush their Norris tankless water heater. These basically work the same as the Renai that I've showed in the past, but I thought I'd show you this video once again just to especially stress the importance of doing this on an annual basis. When I've talked to the manufacturer's reps before, they tell you anywhere from 12 to 24 months this should be done depending on your water hardness. Basically what's happening is this is a huge jet engine worth of gas. It's 199,000 BTUs, and your old 50-gallon gas water heater is probably 25,000. So this is 8 times as powerful as that, and it's heating that water up instantaneously. As a result, it's got a copper burner in there that can be prone to scaling with hot water, or pardon me, with hard water. And so we really need to flush that once a year, or somewhere around 12 to 24 months depending on your hardness. Once a year just to be on the safe side. It's a simple process. Anyone can do it with just a few parts. Let me show you what we need to do to get started. First we want to turn the power off to the unit, and because we're down here in the crawl space, I've got an easy shut off for the power here. And then we want to shut the gas off to the unit. So here's the gas coming in. And generally speaking, when you're looking at valves, anytime the valve is in parallel, it's on, and if it's perpendicular, it's off. So that one's off now. And now we want to turn the water off to the unit. Tell your clients or tell your kids not to shower, because there's not going to be any hot water for about an hour now. So we've shut off the gas coming in, we've turned off the power, we shut off the water coming in and out of this unit. And this Norris unit, when we first installed it, actually did not have a flush kit. And so I talked to my plumber about it. Apparently Norris, up until not too long ago, did not install a flush kit standard on these, and maybe didn't even make one. And maybe they've realized now in the U.S. that our water's hard enough we need it. So if you don't have these two little hose bib inputs, you want to make sure you get those installed on your tankless unit. It's very important. My understanding is a unit like this will last 20 plus years. They've been used in Europe for like 30 years now, and if you take care of them, I think you'll get the full life, no problem out of them. If you never flush them, or if you've gone a long time without flushing them, that's when you can start to get problems. So then you see these two hose bibs, we've turned those off. The only supplies we need are a sump pump. I got this one at the big orange box. It was about $90. You can use a less expensive model, but since I do this a little more often than some, I got that one. And then we've got 2 gallons of just plain old white vinegar. You can get this at H-E-B or any local grocery store. I think these came from Costco, and you're going to spend, under $5 a gallon, so it's very little cost and supplies. All we're going to do is dump that into a 5-gallon bucket. Dump those 2 in. And then we're going to hook up this hose from the sump pump into the water heater, and then another hose from the water heater back into the bucket, because all we're doing basically is creating a continuous loop of white vinegar that's going to run through there. And so the white vinegar is going to basically flush out any hard water or mineral deposits. You may remember as a kid that old trick where you put a Ziploc bag over your shower head. If your shower head started to have problems and wasn't getting enough flow, we're basically doing the exact same thing. You put a Ziploc bag over that shower head, fill it with white vinegar, and let it sit overnight. Those hard water deposits would magically disappear. So we're doing the exact same thing. Doesn't really matter which side you go into and which side you come out of, because all we're doing is just creating a continuous loop through that burner. And let's turn on the power and see how we do. Oh, I got 1 more gallon to put in too. The 2 gallons in this case is just enough to really fully cover over the sump pump. And when you're done with this white vinegar, really just put it down the drain. It's totally non-toxic and harmless. Okay, so now, check this out. So we're inputting from the sump pump through this red valve. It's going through the burner unit, and it's coming out the blue one, and we're just dumping it back in here. All we're going to do now is let this run for about an hour. You could probably go a little bit longer if you wanted to, an hour and a half, depending on the strength of your pump. This pump's a pretty powerful pump. It's moving a lot of gallons per hour. So this one probably could go easily just an hour, but if you had a low volume pump that wasn't pumping much through there, you might set it for a longer period of time. You're not hurting anything going a little longer. So once a year, we're just going to set this rig up, let it go for an hour, and this Norritz tankless water heater should see plenty of life for us. Thanks for joining me, everybody, and please don't forget to flush your tankless water heater. Have a good day. Okay, we're back. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes here flushing this tankless water heater, and now let me show you how to take everything down. So this pump's been running continuously. This is a fairly high flow pump. It's a 1/6 horsepower. We're just going to cut the power to that. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and disconnect the tubes here. You see we're going to drain some vinegar out of the system. Not a problem to do that. That's what we want. Okay. So that vinegar is draining out of the system, and then once those stop dripping, all we're going to do is turn these shut-off valves to the off. And then these have a little kind of a beauty cap. There's no pressure on these, so these aren't super important to be tight. The valve is taking all the pressure. Let's turn those off. Okay, that shut-off valve is off. Now we're gonna, oh, I'm sorry, one thing I forgot. I almost forgot. This is one of the most important things. This is your filter, your input filter on the tankless water heater. And so this is the filter that's pre-filtering basically any water coming from your outside water source. And you can see there's a little bit of gunk on there. So this has done a real good job over the last year of taking any impurities from the City of Austin water or maybe something that was left from construction or whatever, and filtering it through that little fine mesh stainless filter. So you could run that in a hose, or we'll just flush it out here in our vinegar mix. The vinegar is kind of warm because it's been running through that tank. Oh, that's perfect. Nice and clean. Looks brand new. Okay, so now we're going to turn that filter back in and screw that guy all the way in. Very, very important to clean this filter once a year when you go ahead and flush your unit. Okay, so now all we got to do is just turn this thing back on. So all these valves coming into the unit need to be in parallel, and then we're going to turn these water valves back on, and you can hear the unit fill back up. Turn the gas line back onto the unit, turn the power back onto the unit, and turn the there we go, it took a second, and turn the unit back on. So that's it. That's all it takes. It's a fairly simple process. It took us, what, 5 minutes to hook up. It's actually turning on. It must be calling for some hot in there. Someone's turned a hot water faucet on upstairs. I'm getting the heat from that thing. These are my favorite style, these exterior mounted ones when you're in Austin, Texas. I think they really make sense. They've got freeze protection in it. In fact, here in Austin we had a couple of 18-degree nights. That was the coldest it's been in 15 years. I had no freeze issues on all my houses I've built over the last 5 years that had tankless water heaters. I've used Rinnai and Norritz, both very, very good brands. And if you do this annual maintenance on these units, I think they're easily going to last the 20 plus years the manufacturers say they do. So make sure you perform this annual maintenance or have somebody do it for you. It's pretty simple to do. My guess is a plumber who came out and did this for you might charge somewhere between $100 and $200 or so, or maybe slightly more for this service, mainly because there's a lot of time involved. You have to sit and wait. It's not super technical, but it is very important. And now we're going to get the full service life out of this unit. So we're going to come back on this client's house and do that as part of our Reisinger home service once a year. So thank you again for joining me. Have a great day, and please flush your tankless unit annually if you haven't done it already. Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.